Hi, I'm Jacob Wagner. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with the Random Effector. In this scene, we have a cloner system with a linear cloner with 10 clones in it. We're going to add an effector to it, and we're going to change the type to be random. We're going to work with the position, and we're going to work with the scale. So we're going to switch those two on. Then we're going to go into position and again crank up the Y position value a little bit. And we can see that they're now being randomized in their Y position. Pretty easy to understand. If I put this to 200, it's going to pick a value between minus 200 and plus 200. So that's why some of them are going to move up and some of them are going to move down. I can also go into scale and I can set the X scale to 100. And now some of them are going to scale down and some of them are going to scale up. As you can see, the scale is happening in a uniform way. That's because of this checkbox right here. If I turn that off, then now they're only going to scale on the x-axis. And I could put in 100 in the y-axis too. And now they will pick a random value for both those, but they will not be connected. Where if I check the uniform box, they're going to be connected and they're actually only going to use the x value. It doesn't really matter what I set the y value to. Let's have a look at the effector settings. First, we have an random seed. So we can pick different random results and get just the result that we like. Then we got this absolute checkbox. As I said, when I put in 200, it picks a value from minus 200 to 200. If I check the absolute box, it's going to pick a value from 0 to whatever value we put in here. So now they're going to start at 0, which is this point, and then move the maximum distance of 200 down and some random value in between. If I put this to minus instead, then they're going to move up instead. So now we can control which direction they're going to move in. Where if this is unchecked, then the original cloner position is kind of like being the center of where they're moving. We can see that happening to the scale too. So right now, some of them are scaling down to 0 and some of them are scaling up to 200%. Where if I check the absolute checkbox, then some of them are going to stay at 100% and some of them are going up to 200%, but there are none of them that are going to go below 100% because this is a positive value. So let's take that off and let's look at the next checkbox, which is called sync values. Right now it's picking a random value for the position and another random value for the scale. And the two are not connected in any way. But if I click the sync values, then they're both going to use the same random function. So if the random function says you should move up, then it also takes a scale that you should scale down and the other way around. So if it moves down, it's going to be bigger. And let's have another random seed just to get a more distribution here. So we can see the ones below are always the ones that are the biggest. It doesn't really matter which seed I select. The ones at the bottom is always going to be bigger and the ones at the top is always going to be the smallest. And we can switch that around just by putting a negative value in the position, for instance. So now the smallest one is going to be at the bottom. Right, let's switch that off again. The last thing I want to talk about is the color, because the color has a lot of settings on the random effector. Let's just unfold these, and we need to remember switch on the color switch before we can work with the color. As a default, the color goes from a range between white and black. So the plane effector and step effector only had one color value. The random effector is using a range of colors. So you can set this to be maybe red, and you can set the tint color to be something like blue. And it's gonna pick a color value between those two. Then we have this checkbox called uniform color. If we uncheck that, it's gonna pick slightly different colors. And to explain exactly what that checkbox is doing, it would be better to select the white and the black. And I'm gonna check on the uniform color again. So right now, it's gonna pick a color between white and black. So you can see that this is a line it's gonna take. Because it's uniform, it's gonna pick linearly, it's gonna pick a color between the two. Where if it's not uniform, it's gonna be able to pick from this entire rectangle, since one is black and the other is white. And it's gonna be able to do that for all the three color channels. So we're gonna get a completely randomized color. So if we wanna say we want them to randomize but have a maximum lightness of this, and maybe a maximum black color of this, now it's gonna be able to pick from this rectangle, pretty much. Which means that we're gonna get more pastel-like colors. Right, so that was everything about the random effector. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.